We are coming with another insightful episode, guys. Today, we are joined by Terence Williams, the founder of Shateria Beauty. Shateria Beauty is a upcoming hair care wellness brand. So today, I am about to discuss with him, and then hopefully, we'll be able to get some unique insights and blueprints that he implement currently. That definitely, add massive value to all of you. And so let's start our conversation. And first and foremost, thank you so much, Terence, for tuning with us. And thank you for joining with us. And I appreciate your participation for today, our podcast.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Hans.
Okay, perfect. So those who are seeing you for the first time in our podcast, um, Terence, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you guys do with Shaterai Beauty? So I think that would be a great starting point for our conversation today.
Yeah, my wife Dandria and I are the co-founders of Shateria Beauty. We are a vegan, plant-based natural hair care line for all textures. So curls, locks, textured hair. We have a focus on that, but our products can serve any texture anywhere. We started about 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And we're headquartered in Chicago in the US. And we started about 5 years ago. It was a unique journey from the beginning. We
Okay.
were two people that were looking for hair care products that fit our specific needs. I had curls and she has locks. And we were looking for a product that maybe could handle both, but there wasn't one quite on the market like that. And so we were just blessed with the idea to start our own.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So, Terence, definitely we will dive into the unique story in a later bit. But for now, I would like to, bring this conversation, especially to the, new achievement you guys got recently. I think you got the chance with, especially with Level Up Ventures. I mean, it was, I think last month, right? I'm not pretty much sure, but
Yeah.
can you give us some idea about like what was the like first how did you join with like how did you find that opportunity and also what was the journey actually, and so definitely if anybody who's watching new to the e-commerce sector, so definitely they can learn something from you, especially like how we can find investors and how we can pitch them and what is the process. Can you give us some idea about the journey with Level Up Venture that yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we connected with Level Up, for example, through another pitch competition that we
Mhm.
were participating in.
Right.
No, we won that pitch competition,
Hmm.
and from there we met with the folks from Level Up, and we started to build together and work together on a couple of various things. I think it's important that as a brand, there's several things that you want to focus on. Two in particular are your product and the value of your product, and making sure that your brand has a visibility to it,
Yeah.
and that your brand is dedicated in terms of visibility and presence to the niche, right? This is one foundational way where you can begin to attract investors is, do you have a clear communication and clear relationship with your customer base, with
Mhm.
your audience, with your that's paramount. It's because basically you can't it's hard to invest in someone whose mission isn't clear and whose customer base isn't clear. When you have that clear communication, that clear connection with your customer base, with your audience, with your whoever that is, with your target market, you'll start to see a lot of things sort of come in and start to naturally form. And and that's something that is important to investors is, how are they communicating with their base? How are they communicating with their customers? Is it clear and is it effective? Does it
Mhm.
work? That's a big deal, right? That's
Right.
that bottom line. Does it work? Does the customer understand it? Does the customer buy it? Is it
Right.
something we can invest in?
Right. Perfect. Perfect. Actually, I didn't know about you guys participated for a specific context, and I'm so excited to hear about that. Terence, how did you find that opportunity, and how did you prepare, both of you? How did you prepare for the context? And I'm pretty sure that you could have pitched, you could have prepared for the pitch. So first, I would like to hear from you. How did you find that opportunity? I mean, I mean the context, the competition, right? How did you find?
Yeah.
And then, yeah. so on and so forth.
You know, the particular competition that we participated in is actually held and presented by our church.
Okay.
So that's how we found out. And
Right.
so, you know, we my wife and I, we have our business. So boom, we entered. And that's how we found out about it. Preparing for it is a matter of being sure about your numbers and being sure about your business and your goals. And then just being relaxed and following the parameters of the pitch. And like I said, it's hard to do. And when you don't have that foundation of knowing your business inside and out. You got to understand. You got to understand what your everything from your return on ad spend to your you know, to your cat, to your, you know, everything like that. So,
In
you
numbers.
know, evaluation, to just
Yeah.
understanding your business. You know, the more you understand your business, and the more you know what you need to know about your business,
Yeah.
the more relaxed your pitch presentation can be.
Right.
It's all right there. The numbers are there. And yeah, just taking the time and practice. Don't forget to practice your pitch
Okay.
because it's a presentation. You know, you don't want to assume that you got it. You want to make sure that you got it down.
Yeah.
A wise man once told me, don't practice till you get it right. Practice till you can't get it wrong. And
Oh,
so that's foundation.
nice. So I think it's all about numbers, right? Like
Hmm.
I think, I mean, there is a story comes to my mind. Recently, one of my brother actually, my cousin
Well, you
brother.
know, it's like numbers. It's numbers. It's delivery, and it's innovation.
Yeah.
Right? All those three things together, you know, make
Right.
a great pitch.
Right. 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 Okay. So
Mhm.
let me share that story with you as well. And actually he participated for it was not a it was not a competition. Actually, I think he was invited to meet some people, but somehow he had to pitch his service. But unfortunately, he didn't practice as much. Because of that, unfortunately, he couldn't deliver the full pitch. I mean, just 1 to 2 minutes small pitch, what we do and how we can help. Somehow he was bewildered, and then he forgot everything, and unfortunately he missed the chance. And you mentioned about the importance of practice. And I got the new update from that brother. He right now he says that every time he invests 30 minutes every day to practice his speech, so that he won't low his voice in the future competition. And it's a great reminder me, especially when you were talking about that competition. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, so did you meet somebody who, like, I mean, I know there are some technical stuff that we want to care when it comes to pitching our service. So did you get some consultation from someone else, or you created the pitch by yourself and then deliver the pitch? Like, what was happening during that time?
Once we got the parameters of it, we, you know, sat down and created the pitch ourselves, my wife and I.
Uh-huh.
You know, you know, we made sure that it was from the heart
Right.
and authentic to us,
Right.
and also covered all the bases that need to be covered.
Okay.
Just kind of did the research and wrote out a pitch that worked worked with us, and that we felt got our brand across, right?
Hmm.
Got our mission across, got our business goals across, got our valuation across, got our, you know, vision
Yeah.
across. Yeah.
Right. Right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So Terence, I want to hear from you that, like, you have been in this game for 5 to 6, I would say, let's say 6 to 7 years. What are the typical unique challenges that you guys encounter right now as a upcoming, fresh brand to the market?
That's a great question. It became clear to us early on that we need to take some ownership
Hmm.
and authority in our process, not
Right.
just the product itself, but the process of making it. When we first started, some of the unique challenges were building a supply chain.
Right.
that was, foolproof and trustworthy and smooth. And we started to understand, like, oh, we can get this stuff or this equipment and be able to take care of formulation. And, we can build this relationship with this person to handle manufacturing. Right? Once we started to understand the true supply chain of what we were doing, we started to notice that, we can not only help our brand, but be able to be a conduit and an inspiration and even partner with other brands as well. One of the people that I'm inspired by is Milton Hershey. And I've always understood and been inspired by Hershey's story of how, not only are they a big fish in the pond, but they help some of the other big fishes in the pond swim too. When you turn
Right.
around the back of other people's candies, you'll
Right.
notice that it's like it says chocolate supplied by the Hershey Corporation.
Yeah.
So, and that's because early on, you can see in his story from building the town, from building the factory, there's an ownership of the process. That was something that, like I said, my wife and I noticed early on, where it's like, okay, investing in the process where you don't have to continue to rely on outside sources or other sources is huge in terms of building customer trust at
Right.
the end of the day. Yeah.
Right. Right. Got it. Got
So
it.
so we began owning, we began owning our process where we're like, oh, okay, we recently just, acquired our warehouse where we're able to take care of a lot of the supply chain there. We're able to, able to produce, we're able to manufacture, we're able to ship. Yeah, it's that was one of the things early on.
Right.
That's what we learned from it. That's what we've been learning from it these days.
Amazing. Because yeah, that's a great point. Because I mean, it's a continuous process. All we have to do is iterate it every time. So that's what I believe. So amazing. And one more thing, Terence, I would like to hear from you is that, I mean, the people who consume your product and service. I'm asking about in terms of, bringing your product to the people who consume. Because I'm pretty sure that you have some unique ingredients for your product. So were you able to communicate that one to your audience? Like, how did you manage that part? I'm asking about specifically when you bring your product to
Yeah.
the mass audience. I mean, the people who consume.
A big part of what we noticed when we started was introducing a vegan natural hair care line. There came a component of education that we had to
Uh-huh.
put with it, because especially being a culture-led brand like us, our customers, sort of the number one thing that they were dealing with in terms of their challenges was just the lack of education, right? They simply didn't know that these things were good for them. And in our target market, for years, we had been programmed to accept certain ingredients and products, even though in the end they were harmful.
Okay.
So the education component had to come with what we were doing, right? We weren't just selling another hair care brand. We weren't just selling another shampoo. We
Mm.
were also bringing the education of why this is good for you, why this works for you, why some of the things that were happening to you in the past was happening.
Yeah.
Here's why. And so when we started to understand that not only do we have to just sell a brand, we
Mm.
have to provide the education, right? It's not about
Yeah.
simply just selling a product. It's about being the solution.
Yes.
It's about helping and taking the customer, our people, to from point A to point B as far as what they need for their hair, right? Being able to provide solutions and know more about their own hair and to be able to
Right.
just love their crown at the end of the day.
Hmm. Hmm. Perfect. I strongly believe that the founder-led marketing does a huge impact when we go with our product to the audience, to our consumers. So, do you believe the founder-led marketing? I mean, now you join with our podcast, and people might know who you are, right? So, what is I mean, how do you rate and like what is the importance of founder-led marketing? I mean, it's all. I mean, let's forget that the technical part called marketing, right? So I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
being able to authenticity, as you mentioned previously, because when people see the real builders behind the brand, so they feel comfortable on the product, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what do you think about that one? I mean, is it important, especially in this era where a lot of noise going here and there with the AI stuff? And what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very important. I myself as a customer want to know that the person who created this product had good intentions or
Yeah.
had my best interest. And one way for me to know that is the connection between the product and the founder. Can I see the founder? Who is the founder?
Hmm.
What where do they come from? What are they about? Do we share similar interests? Do we share similar goals? That's huge for me because it helps me know that this product or whatever it is that they founded is important and to me, and it's got my best interest at heart. Sometimes, you might find yourself using a product, but it really wasn't made for you. Especially with me and my culture, and especially dealing with culturally led brands, it's important for me to know who the founder is and get an understanding of their profile and who they are as people.
Okay.
And that's important. It's important in marketing. It makes or breaks whether or not I buy that product.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, perfect. So, Terence, I mean, I mean, the next question is going to be so crazy, and this question I literally asked from everyone, anybody who joined with our podcast as a guest. So, imagine, Terence, I mean, if you
Mhm.
had a time machine, you could go back to your beginning, with company. What I mean, what you're building right now. What are the stuff that you might change? I mean, have you ever like
Mm.
did you find something that, okay, what if I change this, what if I do something like that? So do you have that type of realization through this journey so far?
I can't say that I do, honestly, because the journey is important to me too.
Right.
The things that I learn along the way,
Hmm.
I don't regret any of that.
Right.
I don't think I would go back and change that because the things that I learned and the way that I learned them is so important to the process. Not everybody figures it out or has all the answers on day one.
Mm.
And there's stuff that you can't know on day one. You have to start.
Yeah.
That's such a huge component. You have to start.
Mm.
You may not be ready. You may can start early, start late, start.
Yeah.
The important thing is taking that first step.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best ways to learn and get
Yeah.
better is you got to start. You have to take that first step and that second step and that third.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I have anything like that
Amazing.
because I appreciate the journey of it. I appreciate the learning process of it. I'm
Mm.
learning things every day.
Yeah, yeah. I really appreciate with your answer. The reason is the fact that so far I met a lot of founders. They say the same thing, and they say the same thing. So they did not regret their, their challenges. So they said the same thing, and they said that they enjoy the process and they are ready to learn. So that's what they said. Especially on our
Yeah.
podcast, I think it's a great thing. So we have to learn by mistake, and personally, what I believe is that, all great things start with a misguided vision, but, we
Mm.
course correct, through the process. So that's what I believe. So Terence, like anybody who want to check out your store and anybody who want to contact you, where they can go and how they can find you.
ShateriaBeauty.com. You can start right there. ShateRia. ShateriaBeauty.com. That's our website. Everything's there. You can check us out. Check out our line. Check out our products. Check out our mission. Get to know us. Become a part of the movement. Our products are also available on Amazon, Walmart.com, Fashion Go, wholesalers. It's available in select beauty trends locations in America. And yeah, we're here. We're here, we're growing, and we're here for you.
Perfect, Terence. So thank you so much, Terence, for joining with us for today's podcast. And unfortunately, the time does not permit me to ask a lot of questions. Actually, I have a lot of questions to ask, but unfortunately, the time is the issue. But hopefully, we'll be able to, tune up in another episode in another day and with a new
Yeah,
update.
I think that's what that means. Just,
Yeah,
it's gonna be part two. Yeah,
yeah,
that means
of
part
course,
two.
of course. So, is there anything you want to add before we end the podcast? What do you think about the podcast? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think what you're doing is great. I think what you're doing is dope. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to part two, like you said.
Right.
And trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process and enjoy the process. So Terence, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for your brand. And you guys have been doing amazing thing. Because I personally love to meet who are actually building something real. So that's a whole purpose for our podcast.
Mhm.
So guys, so that's it for today, and we are about to wrap up our conversation. And I'll be bringing another amazing episode in next week. So until then, enjoy the process, as he said, trust the process, and we'll see you in another episode. So thank you.
Thank you.